Good evening and welcome. I am Stacy Kruger.
And I'm Todd Krasowski, and this is the 6 o'clock news. How are you today, Stacy? Lovely, as usual.
Oh, you. I'm great, thanks. Did you have a good weekend? Nice weather, right?
Yes, indeed! So, what's our menu for tonight's show, Stacy?
Tonight, we are going to talk about science, and more precisely, neurobiology.
Wow, brain sciences!
Yes! Olivier Deschaux, the famous French neuroscientist, will join us to talk about his career, his job, and his field of research.
I can't wait! But before that, here are tonight's top stories. Jesus has been found earlier this morning in Las Vegas and immediately recognized, then arrested. He was caught gambling with his fans' money and performing magical tricks in the streets.
Witnesses say he transformed water into wine and then tried to sell it. Once interrogated by the police forces, he admitted being, and I quote, a talented magician and nothing more.
This is a huge disappointment for literally billions of persons throughout the world. Jesus was arrested on charges of fraud and forgery, probably the biggest case in human history. The Occidental world is now looking for a new religion, a new prophet. According to the latest rumors, Tom Cruise and the Church of Scientology seemed interested. But Nicolas Cage, the leader of the Church of Internet, also is in a good position.
Last night, another bomb exploded in central Damas. The casualties are important.
Even though no one has claimed the attack, it seems like an action of the revolutionaries. For more details on this, let's check in with our correspondent, Peter Jenkins.
Peter, you just freshly arrived in Syria. Some say it looks like a war zone there. Could you confirm that and give us some more information?
Yes. Wow, powerful words here. Could you show us exactly where the bomb exploded? Yes, just there.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
Yes, great journalism, as usual. Come back here with us. Sure.
Big headline so far.
I know, but not the biggest, right, Stacey?
That's right, Todd. Today's biggest story is this new cat video on YouTube.
Oh my god, cuteness alert, am I right?
So cute.
Okay, time to welcome our guest for tonight, neuroscientist Olivier Deschaux. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We are delighted to have you, Professor Deschaux.
Please, call me Olivier.
How are you?
To help us during our conversation, let's have Philip Banks join us in the studio. Philip, welcome. You are our science expert here, and you're a big fan of Olivier Deschaux, I heard.
Yes, I'm a big fan of yours, Olivier.
Call me Professor.
Okay, I know everything about you. You're a genius. I love you. I love your work.
Okay.
Seriously, Philip?
Seriously. And of course, let me remember you that you can follow us on Twitter, and we'll read some of the best tweets live during the show. So, let's get to know you first.
Yes, that's always what I say.
Except last Tuesday when you had too much mojitos. Anyway, so neurosciences, research. Have you always wanted to do this job?
Yes, I always been interested in biology. At first, I was born into studying the ocean, and it's real life, you know. But then I realized neurosciences were just as interesting and it definitely offered more job opportunities. Also, my parents being teachers, the teaching path was important to me.
Where did you study? In France, I suppose?
Yes, first in Limoges, then Poitiers, until my thesis, which I did in Paris.
And you also got a postdoctoral fellowship in Washington, D.C., right? That's something! That's why your English is so good.
Well, to be honest, American universities love French students. It's not that hard to find a job here. But I decided to return to France and I was offered my current job in Nice.
And you get paid a lot more in the US. So this shows money was not a priority for you. Wow, you're incredible.
Who is that guy?
Philip,
Focus, Philip.
focus. Calm down. And we have a tweet from @swaglord. Yo, dog, this dude is sick. His biz is crazy. This show gon' be good.
Does he like the interview or not?
Crazy! Yeah, I think he likes it.
Professor, what is exactly your field of research in neurosciences?
Well, once I got the job at the University of Nice Sophia Antipolis, I first started to work on post-traumatic stress on animal subjects. We focused on cases of what we can call fear-free rats.
Really? How would you proceed to prevent a subject from being afraid?
Well, the use of drugs, brain surgery, electrophysiological techniques, and so on.
Oh, I might need that. My wife scares me sometimes.
What? You married?
Anyway, that's not why we invited you today, right, Philip? Tell us about your future.
Exactly. You ceased working with this lab. In fact, you were forced to shut down for veterinary control issues. Thankful not letting a genius work. But you got back on your feet again and found a new lab, the Veras Institute of Biology. Tell us what will be your work there.
Well, with this lab, we'll focus on behavioral responses and the learning process on progenic rats.
Here's a tweet from Samuel91. Hey Stacy, why didn't you call me back after last night? No, that's definitely not about this interview.
Nope.
Philip, could you explain to us why they work on transgenic rats?
Of course, as you may know, it means that those rats have been genetically transformed. Let's say that we want to study the behavioral impact of a specific gene. Well, we're going to work on subjects that overexpress, underexpress this gene, or don't express it at all. And that is called a knockout subject. Genetics also help us when we just simply need to add a gene that our subject doesn't originally have or several eventually. Do you understand?
But Professor, why rats? Why not primates or human beings?
Well, when running an experiment, you can't make conclusions out of one specimen. You need a significant amount of specimens. But to compare the results, you need all of them to be extremely similar and identical if possible. Rats are a great experimental model in that way. Our lab's rats are almost clones. They come from a pure strain.
That's brilliantly said, Olivier.
Professor, please.
Finding this genetical similarity in primates is way more difficult, and I'm not even talking about humans. And there is all the legislation, of course. We obviously cannot experiment the same way on rats than on people. There is so many ethical issues.
Okay, so working with rats is easier, but can the results be applied to human beings then?
Exactly. I suppose the differences between rats and humans are too important to make general conclusions.
Yes, but the tests on rats are a prior necessary work to set the basis if you want. Once it's done, you can think about extending the research to primates and maybe humans.
And do we have some other tweets about the show this time?
Let's see, yes. Enough with Science says, "Oh my god, Olivier Deschaux is so hot!
Oh,
I like to do some experiments with him."
well, thank you. It sounds very interesting.
But what's the point if sometimes it never extends to people?
Yes. You won't be able to find a cure for a disease, for example.
Yes, but research isn't always about finding a cure, a new molecule, or therapy. Sometimes it's just about discovering something, understanding a phenomenon. But it's called theoretical research.
So, Philip, could you explain to us how Professor Deschaux here studies the behavior of rats? What kind of technique does he use?
I suppose there's no psychiatrist for rats. "Hello, sir, please lay down on the couch."
Could you imagine that? How did it make you feel? A little cheesy. Anyway.
Well, one of the most used techniques are the mazes, whether it's about anxiety with cross mazes or memorization. Mazes can be used and adapted to a large number and variety of experiments. And then there is more simple tests, like counting the number of attacks towards another rat, the number of sexual intercourse, or the recognition of a particular object.
Professor, how would you qualify your field of research, neurosciences? Is there still a lot of questions to be answered?
A lot. The brain is definitely the most mysterious part of our anatomy. Neurosciences are currently in a fantastic expansion. As I like to say, this century is the century of the brain.
Okay, well, thank you, Professor. It was a pleasure to have you here with us. Thank you.
Oh yes, such a great man. A great mind. I can't believe I'm sitting next to you. My wife is going to be so jealous.
What? You're married?
Anyway, that's it for tonight. We really hope you like the show.
See you tomorrow for the 6 o'clock news.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Neurosciences.
Blah, 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 blah.
Boring.